So today we're going to be looking at the study guide for our Unit 7 test. So let's begin. It says graph the figure and its image under the given transformations. Find the coordinates of the vertices of each image. Label all points. So notice how it says triangle there. SAK with vertices S, -3, 3, 2, 4, A is 2, 4, and K is 1, 1. Under the translation, X plus 2 and Y minus 3. If you remember, X means going left and right, and Y means going up and down. So if it says Y plus 2 on a number line is positive, so you're going to be going right 2. Then you'll be translating it, Y minus 3, so you'll be going down 3. So you'll be going right 2 and down 3. So I already went ahead and graphed the image, the triangle, SAK. Now I want to translate that 2 units right and 3 units down. So I have a multicolored pen here. So I'm going to go ahead and just go, starting here on this dot for S, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to label that S with a dash above it. Okay, next rule says X plus 2, Y minus 3. So I'll do the same thing for A. So 1, starting 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So A prime looks like that. Next, I'll do the same thing for K, which is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now I'll go ahead and connect the dots. So my translated points are the following. For 1, -1, 0, and 3, -2. Part B for number 1. Triangle UVW with vertices U, -2, 2, V, -1, -1, and W, -4, 1, have been rotated 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. Triangle UVW with vertices -2, 2, -1, -1, and -4, 1 has been rotated clockwise about the origin. So turning it clockwise about the origin means I'm going to turn it towards the clock, 90 degrees. So I'll turn it towards the clock, 90 degrees, like this. Now I'm going to temporarily imagine that this is my new Y and this is my new X. I figure out where my points are located. So I have 1, 4 for W. I have 2, 2 for U. And I have -1 and 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate these back to its original position. V is -1, 1. Label that with a dash above it. W is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. With a dash above it. And U is 2, 2. Notice how these 2 points are now in this quadrant and this point is now in this quadrant. If you'd like, you could check your answer if you decided to rotate it by looking at your original points and flipping them and identifying their quadrants. So W and U were in quadrant 1. So all points in quadrant 1 are positive, positive. So U is going to be the same, except it'll switch to 2, 2. W will now be 1, 4. And V will be negative, positive in this quadrant. And the numbers will stay the same. Absolute value, 1, 1. Draw a triangle with the vertices 2, 3, 3, 5, and 5, 3. Then perform the following transformation. A reflection over the y-axis. Do you remember which line is the y-axis? Well, remember that the y-axis goes vertically up and down. Some people like to lie their pencil on the y-axis to get a good visual of what you'll be jumping over. Remember, a reflection is over a central point. What is our central point here? Well, if it's the y-axis, it's right here. So let's reflect A, B, C over the y-axis. So we'll count to our central point. 1, 2, 1, 2. And we'll mark the following. A prime. Next, I'll do the same thing for B. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'll label it B prime. Next, I'll do the same thing for C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll label it C prime. And there we go. We've reflected image A, B, C over the y-axis. Number 3. To determine whether the slope is positive or negative, then find the slope. Here we're given the following line, and we want to determine whether it's positive or negative. Do you remember how to find out whether a slope is positive or negative? Well, in this case, our slope is negative. See how it's going down in this direction? So we can conclude, first, that our slope is negative. Now that we determine our slope is negative, we can go ahead and find the actual slope or steepness of our line. How do you find the slope or steepness of our line? You want to use the ratio rise over run. So a good way to remember rise over run is if my crazy foster cat here, Oreo, decides to run away, I can't just run after her. I have to rise up and then run. I'd have to get out of my chair first and then run after her. So if my crazy cat Oreo decides to go crazy and I was sitting in my chair, I would have to rise up and then run after her. I couldn't start running in my chair and then go get her. I'd have to get out of my chair first. So when we're thinking about rising over run, we have to rise up first and then run to our next point. So we'll start here on our bottom point, as we do when we have negative slope. We'll go up 1, 2. So our rise in this case would be 2. and then we go over 1, 2, 3. So my slope then is 2/3. Am I missing anything on my slope? Well, as we mentioned earlier, this is a negative slope. So it's going downhill 2/3. Or it's going downhill 66%. Number 4 says, graph the following line with a slope of 2 and the point -6, -3. So I've already graphed the point -6, -3. And it's asking me to find the slope, or to graph the following line with a slope of 2. So if you think about slope, it's a ratio of rise over run, where the rise is on top and the run is on the bottom. So our slope then is 2 over 1, because every number can be written over 1. So I'll start on my dot here by rising up 2, 1, 1, 2, and then going over 1 and putting a dot. Now if you remember, wherever we go up 2 and over 1 will be a point on our line. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. You only need 3 points to make a line. You can also go in the opposite direction, which is down 2 and over 1. Down 2 and over 1. And you can see the pattern that's formed. Now I can connect my dots. And I've created a line. Make sure you put arrows on both ends of your line to indicate that it's a line. Remember, lines have arrows on both ends because lines go on forever and ever in both directions. Triangle PQR, if P is 1, 2, Q is 4, 4, and R is 2, -3, has been rotated counterclockwise about the origin, then reflected. So we'll take our image here and we're going to rotate it counterclockwise against the clock, like this. We'll temporarily imagine that this is our new Y and this is our new X. So Q is located at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4, +4. P is located at 1, 2, +1, so -2, +1. And R is located at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So +3, +2. I'll rotate it back to its original position and then graph my new points. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll label it with a dash above it, Q prime. Next I'll do -2, 1, just P prime. And then next I'll do 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, R prime, like that. Now I'll connect my dots to form a rotated triangle. So the question says to reflect it over the x-axis. So I'll switch my colors and I'll reflect all my points over the x-axis. Do you remember where the x-axis is? It's right here. And if you remember, when we're reflecting points, we're reflecting at a central point, and our central point happens to be our x-axis. So we'll count down to our x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have Q with 2 dashes above it. Do the same thing for R. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're nearly back where we started with R. Lastly, I'll do P, which is 1 and then 1. And put 2 dashes above it. And I'll connect my dots. To form the new triangle. The question asked you to label your new points. So here are our new points. -2, -1, -4, -4, and 3, -2. Okay, so we just finished question 5A, and we're going to be looking at question 5B here. We're going to take the quadrilateral QAD if Q is -1, 1, U is 2, 5, and A is 4, 5, and D is 2, negative 1. We're going to be reflecting that over the x-axis. So we need to take this point here, and we're going to go reflect it over the x-axis. So we're going to count down 1, 2, just like back in North Carolina. Then we're going to go up 1, 2, right here. And we're going to count all the way down to the x-axis here. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And got to do the same thing for U here. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now that we've reflected this over the x-axis, you can see on our little mirror here how it looks, just like that. Okay. So now that we've done that, the last thing we're going to have to do right here is we're going to have to go 3 units up and 4 left. 3 units up, 4 left. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm supposed to go. We're going to go 3 units up. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to label that Q double prime. Do the same thing here. So we're going to go 3 up. 1, 2, 3, and 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go D double prime there. And do the same thing for A. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to end up right on the y-axis. And then finally we'll do the same thing. So we'll go up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we end up with U double prime right here. And then I'll go ahead and connect my dots. And here is our final transformed image after we've done it 2 times. Given the 2 trapezoids, describe the transformation from the pre-image to the image. So, whatever transformation we perform, it's going to be performed from point A. Okay, so I noticed that the shape is sort of, okay, well, it's not simply just moved from one spot to the other. It's not quite reflected. It's not getting bigger to smaller, smaller to bigger. So the only option then is B. It's been rotated, and we could say rotated about point A. About point A. Find the coordinates of triangle A when it's negative 7, 7, B when it's negative 7, 4, and C when it's 2, 4. Find the new coordinates if the triangle is reflected across the y-axis. Okay, so we have our y-axis here. Okay, so I guess I could start with point C, and I'll reflect it over our pencil here, y-axis. I'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's point C prime. Do the same thing for A, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's point A. I'll do the same thing for point B, which is also 7, but I'll count anyway. Starting from my black dot, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's B prime. Okay, so now I'll connect my dots. As straight as I can make it. Okay. Now it has to find the coordinates of coordinates. So let's see. So this B is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 4. A is located at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would be 7, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 7. That's A. And then C is located at negative 2. Negative 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, negative 2, 4. Now let's check to see if any of those points match up. Okay, well, it's not A, it's not B. 7, 7 for A, 7, 4 for B, and then negative 2, 4 for C. Okay, let's take a look at our next question. Question 8 says the quadrilateral below is of an exotic planter in a botanical garden display. Use the graph to answer the following question. First, we have to rotate it 270 degrees clockwise. So I went ahead and did that. And let me just give you the points for that. So 270, so F here is going to go 1, 2, 3, so we know we have to end up in the third quadrant here. And the coordinates for that are going to be negative 3, negative 1. See them there. H is going to be 1, 2, 3, so it'll be in this quadrant here. And those points will be 2, negative 1. M is in 1, 2, 3, so it's in this quadrant. It's going to be 2, negative 4. And then B is in quadrant 3, and that'll be negative 1, negative 5. And there's the points for that. At the end of this question, I'm going to post a screenshot of an example I did earlier of the finished transformation. So the second part of this question says that we have to reflect it over the x-axis. So we're going to take our translated points here, transformed points here, we're going to move them over the x-axis. So remember the x-axis is the line that goes horizontal. Okay. So you can put your pencil on the x-axis here to help remind yourself that this is the line that goes side to side. Remember, when we're talking about reflections, we're also going over a central point here, and our central point happens to be the x-axis here. So we're just going to simply just count up to our central point and then count over. And then label it H with 2 dashes. M with 2 dashes, and F is here, and then B is so you can go ahead and see here, here's our reflected image over the x-axis, and we made sure to label each point with 2 dashes for double prime. Okay, so I went ahead and translated my points that I did my double prime for, down 3 and 2 right, and I went and connected the points. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take those points and I'm going to reflect them over the y-axis. So I'm going to start with point F, and I go from left to right, and that'll be F quadruple prime. Now I'm going to go over to H here, and I'm going to go ahead and move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is going to be H quadruple prime. Then I'm going to do the same thing for M here, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be M quadruple prime. Now I'm going to do the same thing for B here, B, so let me find B here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so 1, 1. So I'll put B quadruple prime here just like that, and there we go. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and I just did it. There I went, and I connected all my points. And now you can see all of the different transformations done here. In just a second, you're going to see a video of, not a video, but an image of all the different coordinates.